So now we are moving on to the next session, and the next session is going to be handled by Dr. Dorian Karthikavangi. And Dr. Dorian Karthikavangi is an associate professor and head of the School of Communication at the Atmajaya Catholic University of Indonesia, Jakarta. Her education includes Bachelor in Mass Communication, University Sebelas Maret Sukarta, Magister in Communication Science, University Indonesia, Doctor in Communication Science, Universities in Indonesia. Her teaching and research focus is on organizational communication, public relations, corporate social responsibility, and digital communication. She is an awardee of the Super Semar Scholarship, Stanwag, Canada, World Youth Ministry of Education and Culture, JICA, and Erasmus+. She is also actively writing in various journals and involved in various academic as well as professional forums at the national and international levels as a reviewer and speaker. She is also the founder of the House of Karthika Kusuma, which oversees DK Consulting, a public library, and a batik gallery. We are very enlightened to have you among us, ma'am. The session is yours.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Good night, everyone. It's lovely to be here. Thank you, Dr. Frank Joyson, who invited me to be here. This is my second time giving a workshop in this circle. So I have a topic in conducting literature review. Like everybody knows, literature review is really important when you're doing a research. And I would like to share my presentation and invite my friends, Mas Yogi. Would you please share the screen? So I'm glad that here I have my colleague and also my student from Indonesia. You can get to know each other, perhaps will widen the network for future collaborations. So I'm Dorian Karthikavangi, and I'm a lecturer in Atmajaya Catholic University School of Communications. Next, please. My presentation outline will consist introduction to reviews, and then step 1 is plan to review. The second step is database research, and then step 3, expanded search, and 4, after the search, what will we do? And next, please. An excellent research project hinges on a good research questions. And a good research questions requires you to be familiar with previous research and theories. Everybody know about it. This is why one of the initial texts associated with dissertations or final year project or other similar research-focused activities is conducting a literature review of previously published work. Typically, this would follow on from your having already gained some familiarity with an area from an appropriate textbook where they are available. And we know that literature reviews usually happen at 3 key points in a project. During the development of your research questions, during the planning stage, as you work on the rationale of the steps you need to take to complete your project, and towards the end of the project, either because preliminary analysis points you towards literature you had not previously considered, or to check for relevant studies published since your previous literature search. Here we can understand that reviews placed in a research is really important. You know, like Booty and Bell said, researchers cannot perform significant research without first understanding the literature in the field. So no matter what are your research area, but literature research is needed. Undertaking new primary studies without clear understanding of previous research may result in unnecessary, inappropriate, irrelevant, and unethical research. And because of that, develops an argument by summarizing and synthesize or reorganization of the information is really important part of our research. And Hart said that distinguishes what has already been done and identifies what needs to be done. It's really important for researchers as part of their existence as a researcher. Key developments in the literature review is really important too, because then we know the state of the art about the theories or methodologies in our research area. So it's also how your work connects with current literature needs to be explicit. And the last is the framework, where new findings are compared to previous findings presented in the literature. So that is the part where researcher has a existence or contribution or significance of their research. Next, please. Here is the review spectrum. We can see that there is many of a literature review, but they are a spectrum. You can see here, starting from narrative, mapping, scoping, systematic review to meta-analysis. From the narrative to meta-analysis, there is some characteristic that we have to understand, which are from the narrative part to mapping and scoping. They are subjective, broad questions, methods unclear, no critical appraisal. While from the systematic review to meta-analysis, actually we can see it as a research methodology. Well, we understand that some journal perhaps won't accept a literature review research, but actually this is a methodology. Yeah. They have a characteristic that objective, narrow questions, methods clear described, and evidence is appraised for risk of bias individually and as a whole. Next, please. So I will make it fast. So we will have time to discuss. Narrative review. Its aims to summarize the critical points of current knowledge or a particular topic, also called literature review. It can be written as introduction to a study to demonstrate how a study fills a gap in research and compares a study with other research. Therefore, you can understand that before you develop a research statement or research questions, you have to make a literature review with a characteristic of the narrative reviews. These narrative reviews also as a spread work which organize and describe a topic or describe variable within a particular issues or problem. Next, please. Issue with narrative reviews usually, you can see here, information overload. can be difficult to scope, to narrow. Yeah. Expert can be biased. Methods are not explained, so it cannot be evaluated and could be missing all the appropriate studies. Like Sandy surveyed to 280 articles and found that most cited studies because they supported the author's argument, not because they were reliable. So we have to be careful in this matter. In mapping reviews, this is the next step of the review. Yeah, not next step, but another kind of review. The search of literature aiming to give a broad overview of the characteristic of the topic area. So you are mapping out a predefined area of the literature. In this part, we can determine the scope, select criteria, search, sort and categorize citations, and make a summary. Next, please. And we come to scoping reviews. The aims of scoping reviews is to address and exploratory research questions aimed at categorizing key concepts, types of evidence, and gaps in research related to a defined area of it. Why we're looking for gaps? Because we want to give a significance of our research. You are looking for the scope or the scope for a more narrow review. Some refer to this preliminary systematic review. We know that systematic review is a methodology. So it starts by identify questions, identify relevant studies, study selection, chart data, collect, summarize, and report. Optional. Next, please. For the systematic review, this is actually the methodology that I mentioned earlier. A research method. Systematic review is a research method that aims to answer questions. So it should be a research question. We are looking for the answer by analyzing studies meeting a specific criteria. So it should be transparent, record and report all methods, follow standard and evidence-based practices, and also minimize bias. This is the systematically usually we use: introduction, methods, result, and discussion. Okay, next please. And this is the last literature review, a statistical method which combines data from studies. So for meta-analysis, usually start with systematic review and then run tests to determine if study data can be combined, and then combine study data from multiple studies into one study. Next, please. When we come to approaching the literature review, we have to complete the literature review requires planning, time, reading, writing, drafting, reflection, and editing. So a successful literature review has a firm idea of the research problem and an understanding of the research framework or paradigm. In order to refine the research problem, conduct preliminary research which will help you narrow your focus and identify key search terms. Sorry for the typo. Next, please. You are expected to place your research in the existing academic literature. So you have to have a lot of previous studies and see where is the gap that your research will give the significance. And simply describing the literature should be avoided because it needs a critical and analytical judgment which demonstrate how or where your work is best placed, as well as work that needs developing is essential. Your work should contribute to existing literature in the field. Ensure consideration is given to the methodological and theoretical argument that inform the literature. Be aware of how research paradigm influence the research. I see that Ms. Made Dwi Anjani raised her hand. You can open your microphone, turn on your cam, perhaps. But you can directly mention your what you want to ask, Ibu Made. Or perhaps we continue first. Let's go to the next slides, please. We have 4 plans, as you can see on the outline, right? So the first step is plan. We have to decide if questions matches systematic review method. Again, I love to hear the previous presentation because really give a bridging to what literature review is. So back to the first step where we develop a plan. You have to be careful. We have to be careful and look at the literature review. Is it matches or not? And then we have to narrow the review, scope of the review, not too broad. Find and evaluate related review. Because if we only take it as a reference and see it, doesn't matter is it related or not with our research, will be useful, will be unuseful, and it's bothering your research. So the next is estimate number of potential citations and determine feasibility as well as project management. For project management, please take note, if you do this for research, like systematically literature review as a research, you need a project management. But if not, and you do it by yourself, you can do it without project management. Next, please. The second step is main database searches. So a clearly framed research questions is important as it guides you on how to develop the research, select the articles, assess and annotate studies, and also synthesize the findings. So this main database searches is consists of determine search criteria, find previous or relevant search, list databases, development search, and then you have to evaluate, and if necessary, you have to modify. Then put as a document and translate search for other database because there are so many databases. Next, please. Boolean operators, I will just pass it because you will already know. Next, please. Okay, for the third step, again, we can see here that expanded searches is really important. So we can use many tools. We can use many search engines to make sure that we find what we need. We also have to consider the keywords. For example, child abuse. Child, children, abuse, harassment, or what? The keyword is really important. So we have to select approaches, consider publication bias, challenges, again, document is really important here, and also know when we have to stop. And then after that, updating the search. Next, please. The last step is step 4, after the search. Again, after we collect so many references, we have to evaluate by what? By screen by title and abstract, select by full text, short citation into studies, assess risk or bias. And then code, we have to do the coding and combine, and then explain and summarize. Again, and explaining your literature review, not only just describing, but we have to critically argue with our judgment. Reading. The most important is reading, because if we lazy, doesn't put any effort in reading, it won't work well. What are the relevant sources that you need? Is it relevant or not? Produce a bibliography, which will also act as your reading list. And then this is actually some students that are lazy to read, but read and read some more, because if you not read a lot, then you won't have a credible and how can you say, comprehensive literature review. Once you have familiarized yourself with the literature, annotate the bibliography. Annotation is a brief overview or summary of the main points of each article. So you really put your energy to understand what is the article about and what is the relevant with your research. Once an overview of the literature has been obtained, develop your focus. The annotation provides you with a list of sources which needs to be turned into a review of literature organized around ideas. Back to the scope or the area of your research. Next, please. I think I will pass some of this presentation because it's already 8:59. Go to the next slide, please. Go to the tools. Next, we go directly to the tools. Mas Yogi, tools, please. Because I would like to show you there is some tools that we can use and help us to do the literature review. The rest of this presentation, you can read it and then we can discuss it later on. I put my email in the cover of this presentation. Yeah, this is some tools that we can use. Would you please click the first one? Yeah. Okay, this is free, open knowledge maps. You can scroll into the bottom, please, Mas, and create a new knowledge map. After that, put your keywords, for example, crisis management, and then go and wait for a while. Ta-da! We have a map of cluster of literature. So we can choose which one is related with our research. For example, crisis communications. Yeah, there. Now you can zoom it and then see which reference that you have to read in this area of research. This tool is free. You can use it. It's really useful to help you because again, there are so many search engine, but there are some tools that we can use. Please back to the tools. The second tools where we can pass it because it's only for medical and natural science. So the last zlib, please, yeah. Articles, please. And again, for example, crisis management and search. And you can see there's a lot of potential references, more than 500 that we can use and select. Yeah, select. Please be careful in selecting the references whether it's related to your research or not. Back to the presentation, please. Okay, just before ending this this presentation, would you please go to the previous slide and mistake that usually done by just before the tools. So many slides. Usually I give this workshop for 3 days just to make a literature review. So this is the common mistake to avoid. Failure to link the findings of the literature review to your study, does not start the reading process early, and fails to identify sources. So it's lazy. Absent of criticality and accepting findings as valid without questioning all aspect of the research design. Here we have to be skeptical. Produce an annotated bibliography. We have tools such as Mendeley or thesaurus or anything in the words that you can use. Yeah. So you have to create your bibliography. That's all my presentation. Thank you so much for your attention. Perhaps we have times to discuss, but I don't know, I have to ask the host. I give time back to the host. Thank you, Mas Yogi, for having me.
Anybody has any questions?
Ma'am, I'm Francis Francisca. Actually, ma'am, can I getting the all PPT
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you. Ibu Made and Bapak Salman, you raise your hand. Is there any questions or not?
Okay. May I ask, Madam?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Madam. Let me to ask some questions. Firstly, how much previous studies or papers that should be a minimum amount of paper should be reviewed from to do this systematic literature review, and is this same literature review with content analysis, because I found there is some papers that also review papers but using content analysis, and some using systematic literature review. And the last question, Madam, can this systematic literature review being conducted by one researcher? Thank you, Madam, for the chance. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you for the questions. I will answer directly, Ms. Japret Risa. Okay, for the first question, how many references that we have to provide? Actually, there is no exact amount, but back to the what the researchers need and the scope. For example, if we already take a look at 100 references, but there is not enough to support our argumentations to see where is the gap that our research will give significances, you still need to have to do the literature review. So there is no specific amount that we have to fulfill. But again, is it already give a support, give a state of the art to your research or not? Depend on that. And then for the second question, is it content analysis? It's depend. It can be content analysis if it's systematic literature review. But if there is what you do is not systematic literature review, we cannot say it as a content analysis because it's literature, not, for example, secondary data, like text analysis. It's different. They have their own criteria. So as a researcher, we have to be really careful in seeing what kind of literature review it is. We can use content analysis for some aspect, but not in all literature review. And for the third question, would you please repeat it again? I missed to take a note.
Can this systematic literature review being conducted with or by one researchers? And
Yeah.
last one, this more important, ma'am. How about the time lapse, ma'am? From current years to another years, how much time of papers that can be reviewed?
That's really important questions. So the third question, is it okay if just one researcher do the literature review? Yes, it's okay. It's okay. But for a team, it's better because you know so many people will help you to do the search and then collecting and then coding, yeah, and make a map. But for how long we have to search the references. So if you want to see the development of the theories, you have to start from the beginning. For example, there is a management theories that start from, for example, 1960. You have to start from that time. How these theories develop. As a communication scientist, we know that there is an agenda setting long time ago, but then Elihu Katz developed usage and gratification theories that against agenda setting theories. This kind of state of the art we have to understand. Who contribute to the development of the theories. But if you do some research in specific areas, you can use, like, for example, the newest research in this area, what is already done by other people in the previous research. So usually, for example, as a journal, many journal ask for 10 years, the newest. But yeah, it's depend on the aims of your research. Thank you. Okay, do we have time, Ms. Chaplatrisa? Because I see several participants who raise hand.
Yes, ma'am, sure. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, we can give time to Bapak Anding Kemal.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Doreen. Nice to see you again virtually. Okay, I've got two questions relating to literature review, and I think my question also relate to Pak Salman. I think the first questions, how do we cope a situation in which we cannot find suitable previous research due to rare research activities in a certain topic in literature review. It happened to me a few months ago, for example. I was doing a research on air tutur. It's traditions in Batak Karo. And it was totally difficult to find the literature review, or let's say to find the previous research on this topic. Well, because my research interest is on intercultural or cultural communications. It was difficult. So when say the editor of a journal requested of certain number or certain number of journals to be cited for my article, it was a disaster because again it was difficult to find, okay, on certain topics, and so I'm asking for a certain tip from you as a sounding experienced researcher. And the second question is that to what extent is the importance of novelty in humanities research or in social science research? Well, since you see that humanities and social sciences seems to be just, in plain language, to be just repetitions with different perspective. I mean, they are different from, say, engineering, for example, engineering research that usually discuss inventing something, right? Or in computer science, for example, just for instance. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, organizer.
Yeah, thank you, Bapak Mr. Anding Kemal. The first is about how, if we can find references that we need, the literature that we have to review. Well, actually, we can see not the exact same topics or research area or theories or methodology, but we can see whether there are some references that similar. For example, your research is on Batak Karo. How about those similar research in, for example, Balinese, or in Kalimantan, or in Java, if there is any? So you can develop a map. After that, you can see, is there anything that you can adopt or duplicate, or you have to develop something new for your research. So that's really challenging, but possible. So, or maybe you find similar, but it's a long time ago. It's okay too, because you can see the longitudinal research that researcher can how do you say, identify the development of those areas of research. And again, perhaps there is some document, not in journal, but in, for example, newspaper, in museum, and things like that. Right now, we are allowed to use it as a reference. If we visit the APA referencing style, we can see that not only article in the journal, but we also can use movie, video, a song, and other secondary data, and use it as a literature review. So, Pak Ading, I hope you will find some that you can use for your research in the future. And for the novelty, yes, for social sciences, perhaps a bit difficult, but again, as a researcher, we always see what kind of significance that we can contribute to the research. We have to find the gap. Even though the gap is really small, narrow, and niche, but this is our novelty as a researcher. Yeah, we have to find it. That's why we have to do the literature review, because we have to find this gap to contribute, to give the significance.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Pak Ading. I think,
Madam?
yeah,
Yes.
Rasmita.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, while penning down the literature review, I have to relate those theories and previous works to my study at the same time. I mean, from that time, I have to unfold little bit of my study in literature review by relating to each theories and previous studies.
Oh, I don't understand what you asking. Would you please help me, Miss Chapretrisa? What you? I'm not.
Ma'am, while I'm penning down the literature review, I have to relate those theories and previous works to my study at the same time. I'm little bit unfolding my studies and relating to others' works. Like that, I have to write this way.
Yeah. Well, when you do literature review, you have to relate it with your work. Yeah, the literature review not only based on the topic area, but also on the theory that you use, the methodology that you use, the paradigm, yeah, and the perspective. Yeah, you have to relate it. Is it relevant or not with your research area?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Ma'am, it's really helpful, ma'am. Your session is really helpful, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, glad to hear that. Any other questions? Okay, if not, it's already 9:20 in Indonesia, and perhaps an hour and a half, the differences of the time. So in India, perhaps 8:20. Yes, quite.
It's 8:50.
Yeah. Well, I give the time to Ms. Chapetrisa to close the session. Thank you so much for all participants who pay attention, and perhaps what I try to deliver is useful for your research. Thank you.